Hybrids in 2026? They've come a long way. Seriously, this is not 2012 anymore where everything felt like a science experiment. Now you've got systems that are smooth, efficient, and honestly, kind of boring but in a good way. They just work. No charging tension. You don't need to plan your life around charging stations. You fill petrol like normal, and the car quietly saves fuel in the background. That's it. And with fuel prices doing their usual drama, one global issue somewhere, and suddenly petrol prices are climbing like they're training for a marathon. Hybrids actually make a lot of sense. They soften that hit. But not all hybrids are built equal. Some are solid, some are, let's just say you'll get to know your service center staff on a first-name basis. So let's talk about the ones you should avoid. Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid. This one really messes with your brain because you look at it and think, this is premium. Big SUV. Clean design. Proper road presence. Feels like something you've arrived in. And then you actually live with it. Reliability score, 20 out of 100. Just sit with that for a second. 20. That's not slightly unreliable. That's why did we release this already territory. People are reporting weird stuff. Transmission jerks at low speeds, not aggressive driving jerks, just normal crawling traffic, and the car decides to remind you it exists. Sensors acting up, electronics glitching like it's still in development mode. And then comes the financial pain. Massive depreciation. Some owners lost over $10,000 in a single year. So you buy what looks like a luxury hybrid, and it behaves like a test product, while quietly draining your wallet. It's the kind of car that impresses your neighbors for about a week, and then starts stressing you out for the next few years. Dodge Hornet plug-in hybrid. This one had personality, aggressive styling, performance hybrid angle. You look at it and think, finally, a hybrid that isn't trying to be boring and responsible. And then reality shows up like an uninvited guest. Reliability score is 37 out of 100, and the issues start early, very early. Electrical failures, battery drain problems, warning lights popping up within the first 1,000 miles. You're still figuring out where to keep your sunglasses, and the car is already throwing tantrums. And then you look at depreciation, expected to lose around 62% of its value in 5 years. That's not normal depreciation. That's like watching your money dissolve slowly. So it's fun in theory. It looks exciting. It feels different. But ownership? That's where the mood changes. It's one of those cars that makes you smile during the test drive, and then slowly makes you regret your life choices. Ford Escape plug-in hybrid. This one is sneaky, because it looks sensible, like a mature decision. You see the specs, good electric range, decent efficiency, known car brand, and you think, okay, this is safe, this is practical, this is the grown-up choice. And then you start hearing real owner stories. Reliability score sits at 39 out of 100, and the problems are not small annoyances. Infotainment failures, four-wheel drive system issues, recalls happening more often than you'd like. But some owners have had their cars sitting in service centers for weeks. Not days, weeks. Imagine buying a car and then not having a car. That's the part nobody tells you during the brochure phase. Also, this is where the bigger hybrid story comes in. Plug-in hybrids like this tend to have way more issues than regular cars, up to 80% more in some surveys. Why? Because you're combining a full petrol engine with a battery system, charging hardware, and a bunch of software trying to make everything work together nicely. It's like managing two personalities in one body. Sometimes it works, and sometimes not so much. Lincoln Nautilus Hybrid. Now this one is about expectations, because when you hear luxury hybrid, you expect calm, smoothness, no nonsense. You expect the car to just glide through life with you. And you're paying premium money for that feeling. Then you actually experience it. Reliability score, 37 out of 100. And the complaints sound very familiar. Electronics issues, software bugs, build inconsistencies. But here's the difference. When a cheaper car has problems, you get annoyed. When a luxury car has the same problems, it feels personal, because you paid more specifically to avoid this kind of headache. So instead of enjoying a premium experience, you're dealing with glitches and inconsistencies, just in a nicer environment. It's like staying in an expensive hotel where the room looks amazing, but the AC doesn't work properly. You don't just notice it. You question everything. Kia Sorento Hybrid. This one is tricky, because on the surface it really looks like a smart buy. 3-row SUV, good features, strong warranty. It checks a lot of boxes. You sit down and think, yeah, this is value. This is a sensible decision. And to be fair, in the short term, it can feel that way. But then long-term ownership starts telling a different story. Reliability score is 42 out of 100. Not terrible, but not reassuring either. And then depreciation comes into play. It loses value faster than you'd expect. So even if the car behaves fine for a while, financially, it doesn't hold up well. You end up losing more money than you planned. It's like buying something that feels like a good deal until you try to sell it later and realize it wasn't. That's the quiet problem here. Nothing dramatic, just slow, steady value loss. Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. This one catches people off guard because Hyundai as a brand has improved massively. No argument there. So you go in with confidence. And at first, it feels good. The car is efficient, comfortable, loaded with features. It does everything you want from a daily driver. Then the small things start. Below average reliability overall. Electronics glitches, build inconsistencies. Nothing catastrophic at first, just little things that start adding up. And that's the annoying part, because the car is so close to being great. You want to like it. You probably do like it in the beginning. But over time, those small issues chip away at the experience. It's like a phone that's amazing on day one, and then slowly starts lagging just enough to irritate you every day. Now, if you step back and look at all of these together, a pattern starts forming. It's not random. A lot of these problems come from the same place. Plug-in hybrids. They sound great on paper. You get electric driving plus a petrol engine. Best of both worlds. But in reality, you're also getting double the complexity. More components, more systems, more software trying to coordinate everything, and more chances for something to go wrong. That's why you see more issues. That's why reliability scores drop. That's why service visits increase. On the other hand, simpler hybrid systems, the ones that don't rely on charging infrastructure and don't try to do everything at once, those are actually very solid now. They've matured. They're predictable. They're boring in the best way possible. And honestly, boring is exactly what you want in a car you depend on every day. So yeah, hybrids as a category, strong in 2026. They help you deal with fuel price swings. They don't force you into charging headaches. They make daily driving easier. But the wrong hybrid, that's where things go sideways. Because then you're not just saving fuel. You're spending time in service centers. You're dealing with glitches. You're watching your car lose value faster than expected. And suddenly that smart decision doesn't feel so smart anymore. So before you buy, just slow down for a second. Look beyond mileage. Look beyond features. Ask yourself, has this system been proven? Are real owners happy? Does it hold value? Because at the end of the day, a good hybrid quietly improves your life. A bad one, it becomes part of your daily problems. Now tell me, would you still risk a plug-in hybrid after this, or play it safe with something proven? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this helpful, you already know what to do. Like the video, subscribe, and stick around. Because we're not just talking cars here. We're saving you from expensive mistakes.